this is a really juicy piece of propaganda that Emily Austin put out today.
It's been 1 year since the horrific attacks of October 7th. Instead of telling you about the past year, I'd rather show you.
Why are we watching this shit?
Because people need to know what this.
I'm not like promoting it. This is Hasbara.
That he led by 2 terrorists barefoot in his underwear, gently without him. No way.
The music.
Yeah, this is terrible. There's so many better things.
And she's crying.
Well, this is the same thing as like the thing Sheryl Sandberg did. They go and talk to the same handful of little tools over in Israel that are basically on the payroll for the IDF. Yeah, Max points all of it out very specifically, who the people are that are basically little IDF
So
tools.
these acts, you were not fighting.
Yeah, this is annoying.
Oh, here comes the Hamas, and
But I don't understand why we're like, who is this woman? Like, why? Who is she? Who is this girl?
I'm using this as an example.
Oh, okay. Of just bad Hasbara. It's just propaganda, but yeah.
And they use her well, and they pay her well.
There's a lot of these people, though. Like, this is just one of many. I've seen much better work.
She's got her big Star of David right there.
Of course.
Just to let you know.
But all of these people, just so you know, guys, all of these stories have been debunked. All of these stories have been debunked. But there's no like timestamp as to when she was like, this is not, I'm not sure. Are you just showing how bad their propaganda is?
That's the point.
Okay, yeah. That's why you guys should go watch Max's video called Atrocity Inc. because it really does hone in on how bad the propaganda machine has been, and how the Western media is basically, they're not just complicit. They're really part of it. They're really part and parcel of the whole genocide. It wouldn't be able to be complete without them. The fact that we're able to be watching a genocide live streamed and they're still able to do it, that's thanks to Western media, because they've done such a good job of painting the terrorists as what they do and dehumanizing them that this is just acceptable, apparently.
So she has almost 2.5 million followers on Instagram. And this post today, 14 hours ago, has already gotten, well, here's the thing that's interesting. But here's where you know it's propaganda. You know how?
Because it's all lies?
I don't know what the actual ratio is, but her post has over 92,000 likes and only less than 600 comments.
Well, and a lot of that is bots. They pay farms to do that, though. They pay people to like things. I am convinced that everybody who comments on Richie Torres's Instagram are paid.
I mean, that if there's one thing you notice about our podcast, which is heavily shadow banned, we will have podcasts where we'll drop a clip and we'll have 400 views and we'll have 80 likes. Like, that is a ratio that isn't real. And who's to say how many of the comments are from bot farms? You see, propaganda pays if you're willing to believe it. I don't believe it. I know you don't believe it.
No, but I wouldn't even watch that crap. I know that they're full of shit. I was used as a human shield and a tool of ethnic cleansing by the state of Israel. So they could say whatever they want to say. I've lived their bullshit cult.
We don't have to live in just sort of like this, memory hole of it's October 7th and everyone's talking about it. But what is of interest to me is this idea that they're really convinced that somehow this is all going to end one day and everything is just going to be fine.
Oh, well, it will. And as Jason says about like bleeding, all bleeding stops. And it does, one way or another. And this will end. This will end. I like the idea of Greater Syria. I think we should go back and investigate the idea of Greater Syria. I learned a few things. I learned some stuff. Apparently, guys, after World War I, this is very interesting in the crumble of the Ottoman Empire in the region, the French and the British actually conducted somewhat of an election, a poll, if you will, throughout the region that is part of Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, and Palestine, right? Like, and they polled proportionate numbers of Jews, Christians, and Muslims in that whole region, because that whole region are really similar peoples. Those are sort of like similar people. So like the Syrian Christians and the Syrian and the Lebanese Christians, it's similar. And they all voted, interestingly, overwhelmingly in 1918 or 1919, that region, Jews, Christians, and Muslims in that region voted overwhelmingly to incorporate and be Greater Syria. And it actually, the map of Greater Syria, if you look it up, makes a lot of sense, because that's the region of those peoples, Jews, Christians, and Muslims that lived in that area. So I kind of want, just like I like the idea of federal job guarantee, I'm going to put out the idea of Greater Syria. But the point is that was what they voted for. Overwhelmingly, they went to villages all throughout that region. And they asked the people, and they all wanted to be together in a Greater Syria. I'm just saying, that was what the people wanted there, but nobody cared what they wanted.
The Ashkenazi Zionists simply cannot accept that they are likely not going to get their way.
Yes, Chromium, I got the receipt. Well, I'm trying to figure it out. Do you know anything about that? All right, we got it. I'll figure it out.
Whatever you think you saw on October 7th, whatever you think you've seen since then, if you're still gullible enough to believe that what you're seeing is reality and not a shade of it,
they manipulated everything for pictures
purpose?
And for videos. They manipulated so many stuff. They used footage from other things. They actually showed again, please go watch Max's video. They actually showed photos.
See the movie Wag the Dog.
Well, they showed photos of dead and murdered Palestinians and claimed that those were people from the music festival. So you might have seen footage that's horrifying. Sure. I don't doubt that. And I even would love to give grace to Cheryl and think that maybe she was shown something that really was that.
You cannot be at that level of society and not know the score. Not possible.
But my point is, what you saw, as horrible as it might have been, is not what they're telling you it was.